I came to clarify a question you keep asking yourself every single day. A question of why are others flourishing in life and not me? Why are people moving forward in life and it seems like I'm just stagnant? Why are my siblings even doing better than I am? Yes, I know. But what if I told you that the biggest breakthrough of your life isn't actually late, but is perfectly on time? You see, most people don't realize that every major success story, it actually follows a hidden pattern of timing that has nothing to do with your age, your circumstances, or even luck. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you a roadmap that reveals when your season is actually supposed to arrive and why fighting against your natural timing is the number one reason you will burn out before you even reach your potential. I once heard someone say that if you misread the season you are in, you might fight what God is trying to form. This has stayed with me for the longest because sometimes we are trying to bloom when it's actually time to rest. We are trying to rush when heaven is saying, wait on the Lord. Let me tell you a story about a tree that didn't understand its time. I know you will say, Ruth, you and this your stories, but stay with me and we will land safely. Welcome back to another episode of UTAC. I am Ruth Cheqona and I will be your host for today. Anyway, back to the story. Once upon a time, in a quiet valley, there stood a young tree named Ora. Ora had strong roots, tender branches, and leaves that danced in the wind. She had a dream of towering tall like the oaks on the hill. A dream of bearing fruit so sweet travelers would stop just to rest under her shade. She believed that day would come. After all, she was planted by the stream. But as months passed, Ora noticed something strange. Other trees around her started to blossom, but for Ora, she remained bare. No buds, no flowers, no fruit, just quiet and a lot of questions. Why am I behind? She asked the sky. Have I done something wrong? She stretched her branches higher. She whispered prayers into the wind, but nothing changed. Then came the winter, and the valley turned silent. Snow covered the ground. Another tree shed their leaves and stood still. Oh, Ora was so confused. If I wasn't fruitful in summer, how will I survive in the winter? She wept in silence, thinking God had forgotten her. But what Ora didn't know was that the gardener had planted her for something different. Her roots weren't shallow like the others, they were growing deeper. Her fruit wasn't for snacks, it was for healing. And her season wasn't spring, it was appointed for an exact time. Years passed, but one fateful day, when the valley was dry, when other trees had stopped producing, Ora began to bloom. Not with ordinary fruits though, but with leaves that shone like emeralds and fruits that brought strength to the weary. People came from villages far, far away, not for shade though, not for sweetness, but because something about Ora's fruits gave them hope. That fateful day, Ora finally understood. I was never behind. I was just becoming in a different season. And the gardener has always known what I would be, even when I didn't. So many of us are like Ora, questioning God because our timelines doesn't match someone else's. But could it be that you are not behind? That you are just in a different season, one that God ordained before time began? So what does the word of God say about times and seasons? Listen, you're not the first to wrestle with the frustration of delay, the silence of heaven, or the confusion of not knowing what time it is in your life. But the Bible is not silent on this. In fact, it's full of divine blueprints that reveals how God operates in time. and how prophecy is often tied to appointed seasons. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. This isn't poetry, this is prophecy. Solomon wasn't saying things might have season. He said everything does. Every purpose, every promise, every person. So if you're in a waiting season, it's not wasted. If you're in a pruning season, it's not punishment. God attaches purpose to seasons, even the silent ones. So don't just ask, how long? Start asking, what is the purpose of this season? Daniel 2:21. He changes times and seasons. He removes kings and raises up kings. Daniel saw something we need to reclaim. God is the master clock keeper. Nations rise and fall by his timing. Kings come and go. What makes you think your life is any different? So when a door closes, it might not be rejection, it might be a transition. You see, God doesn't just work in time, He controls it. He shifts things, not by the calendar though, but by Kairos, which is divine appointments. You may be waiting, but heaven is working. 1 Thessalonians 5 1 to 6. Now, concerning the times and the seasons, the day of the Lord will come like a thief in the night. You see, Paul ties times and seasons directly to the return of Christ. Not so we panic though, but to stay awake, just like some people missed Jesus when he first came. Others might miss him again when he comes, all because they didn't know what season it was. Prophecy isn't just about predicting the future, it's about preparing for it. We don't just need clocks, we need discernment. Luke 19:44 says, because you did not know the time of your visitation. Oh, this one hurts. Jesus wept over a city that had prayed for a Messiah but missed him when he came. They had information but no revelation. They knew the scriptures but didn't recognize the moment. What if you're praying for something and it's already at your door, but you don't recognize it? This is why discernment of season is critical. Don't miss your visitation because you're stuck in yesterday's expectation. Ladies and gentlemen, God never moves randomly. He moves by appointment. He speaks in Kairos moments. And you, yes, you listening to me, you are not behind. You just need to discern the time you are in. So I will ask you, what season are you in now? Is God calling you to wait, to build, to fight, or to rest? Have you been asking for a breakthrough but missing the timing? Let's not be like Jerusalem, weeping after the moment had passed. Let's be like the sons of Issachar who understood the times and knew what Israel should do. This is just the beginning, because understanding the existence of seasons is one thing, but discerning the one you're in right now and knowing how God works in season, that's where transformation begins. In part 2, we are going deeper into how to recognize your personal season and how God moves in it. So don't stop here. Tap into the next part, because heaven's timing isn't just about what is next, it's about who you're becoming in the meantime. Go listen to part 2 now and let's walk this journey together.